Okay, so I have this set up on the most jankiest setup I can get, which is taped to my cap. This is Styx's card. Because I have cuts in my fingers, I have to put these gloves on. Don't mind the mess in the background. I'm gonna have to tidy it up later on anyways. Alright, so this is a RX470D. Ouch. Used because you can kind of see in the fan. I'm kind of eyeballing this one eye to see if I can get this in the camera. Yeah, I can. Ouch. I'm gonna have to give this some TLC. This exterior case is obviously going to need a clean up. I might as well start off with that first. Or I could start off with the disassembly and then this is non-standard screw here. That's a non-standard screw. Don't know if the camera will pick that up. Yep, it does. I don't know why they put so many warranty void stickers on this thing, because I will open this. Let's get this thing out the way. Alright, so which bit would best fit the majority of the screws in this board? I think it'll be this one because the smallest screw is it. Yeah, what about this? That's not even screwed on properly. How about these exterior ones? Yep, this screw here is perfect. Might as well use one of these openers in case I do want to pop the shell. Alright, yeah, obviously you see the brand, some cheap ass one I got off Amazon. Because eventually I will be using this. Oh yeah, actually. Won't be needing anything else really. Maybe tweezers to get off the dead thermal pads. Might as well dedicate that to the side. Throw that aside then. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I noticed is obviously the scratches on the exterior, but the exterior seems to be really good condition, to be honest. This is used. How used, I don't know, but as long as you clean it up well, as long as you clean it up well, it should be fine. I mean, Linus did do a demonstration of testing a GTX 680, his old one, which he heavily used, by the way, for God knows how many years, with a new one, fresh out of the box, with the exterior sticker still on, and the performance was literally 2 FPS after cleaning it pretty well. So, I mean, as long as you clean it properly, you shouldn't have to worry about it possibly, performance degradation. As long as they don't, abuse it, it should be fine. Abusing meaning, there's a missing screw there, which is a bit of annoying. Screw there. As long as they don't heavily use it, it should be fine. I'm gonna have to take these stickers off because they don't really, Let's to the side. I'll probably speed this up to a, time lapse. But what happens with graphics cards and the general electronics is if you leave it on, electricity flows through it at a steady rate depending on how you use it. So if you use it heavily, or you stress test it, or you put it under a certain load, what happens is, how many to throw this in the box? What happens is, electricity flows through it, and it sort of pulsates. If the best way for me to explain this is like, bits, electricity just pushing through the capacitors and stuff. If you put it at a steady pace, what happens is the capacitors won't change much. But if you keep turning on, off, or mining with it, what happens is you mess up the capacitors. Actually, I'll leave that. You mess up the capacitors, and eventually, what would happen is it will die. It'll just start to die. Capacitors start popping. You get issues with cooling, with thermals. You get all sorts of issues. So, what they do say is, if you leave your PC on, there's a less likely chance that it would die, since you are passing a steady, flow of electricity to it. You're not switching it up and weird stuff. There is quite a lot of dust on this card. I'm just doing the side screws. The camera will not pick this up. If it does, I'll be surprised, because this is a cheap ass camera. Okay. What's holding this back screw to it? Oh, there's a little cheeky screw over here. All these bits back in the box. Yep, obviously. Oh, there's a lot of dust on my hands already. What we want to do is we're going to remove these screws, which are tension held towards the chip itself, the GPU chip itself, because the GPU is actually the chip. The card is the full thing. Would this screwdriver work? No, I'm gonna need it for small. I'm gonna need a smaller size for that. Lucky I bought this set, because if I didn't buy this set, then I wouldn't be able to open it. Something smaller, something about this. This size should get it open. Perfect. You know what? I actually have the camera like elastic banded to my cap, so that's a weird setup I have going on. So I got it like kind of obstructing my vision, so like I said, this is tension held. It holds the chip to the cooler. I'm not going to bother taking the screws off this bracket itself, because this is kind of fiddly, and hopefully this thing doesn't fall off the table. If it falls off the table, I'll be pissed. I don't want to end up losing any screws. This backboard should just essentially just pop off. I haven't missed any screws, haven't I? No screw behind the eyes in there. This thing should just pop off itself. Why isn't it popping off? There are no other screws connected to it, right? That can't be part of the case. There we go. Now, right in the bottom corner is a... there you go, you can see the thermal chips as well. Flip this around. There's thermal paste, badly applied by the way. I need to get this thing off. The guy did make the effort to... I don't think this will get it off. Oh, this screw is up on in here, man. Damn. Just give it a little wiggle out. It should just pop out. Damn. Come on. There we go. Now, these are the pre-applied thermal pads. They're disgusting. That's gonna have to go in the bin. I'm gonna have to pop open this cooler and get rid of these thermal pads because they are disgraceful. One long one here and just small ones. They're kind of gooey. So you know they've kind of been abused. Now the point of thermal pads is if you don't want to put thermal paste on the chips, so what they do is they put these pads. They're not as good as thermal paste, but they still keep it cool. This is messed up, man. It's cracking and all sorts. One tool I'm missing is my classic brush. My paintbrush, which I got 7 years ago. I just found it, I go, you know, I might as well use it for my electronics. I wanted a good peel on this, but I doubt I'm gonna get that. So this one's pretty bad. There you go. Set that paste. Probably making rookie mistakes, but cards not that hard to deal with. As long as you use the standard screws, you can clean them out easily. Now I'm gonna need to clean off deal with the cooler later on. Yeah, I'll deal with this cooler after. First, I want to deal with the board itself, get this thing in tip-top condition, and then deal with the board. Cleany. Some of these thermal pads have cracked. Okay. Now this is the GPU itself right here, and these are just the chipset. Well, not the chipsets, the chips, transistors, and then the capacitors here. There's the transistors, capacitors. Actually, these are transistors, these are capacitors. What happens is sometimes if you pass a steady, if you keep on switching out, these could pop. It's usually these that pop, these little Eiffel towers or whatever you usually call them water towers. There's usually an orange liquid in it. Well, an orange substance, because obviously electricity, you know. If you've seen that video of the guy passing electricity to through a sausage, you get this yellowy, orangey yellowy liquid coming out. Disgusting, but right. Okay, number one, get some tissues ready, because I'm going to be cleaning off the thermal paste now. What I first like to do is rip a bit of tissue, get the exterior thermal paste off, just so it makes it easier to deal with. Wipe inwards rather than outwards. that got some of it off. Now this is where you go in with some IPA. Which I have right here. It's a bad idea, I can't lie. Get this cleaned out. Break down the IPA, the thermal paste with the IPA, and then swipe it up. Take it all off, get as much as you can off. Then after you've done that, just dry it out. That's squeaky clean. I did a good job of that. Well, I think so. Some more. What's this? Is this used? Doesn't matter. Clean out the rest of the board. What fell? Something fell. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. need to get my handy brush. Hopefully nothing topples over. Ignore the toys, they're not mine. Okay, after a while of cleaning the chip and the board, I did a decent job trying to get everything cleaned up. I mean, I did try a good with IPA. It did attempt to clean it well. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up or not, but hopefully this is nice and clean. I've handled this. This is done. Move this to the side. Now I just got to work on the actual cooler itself. This chunky boy. Now, the first thing I like to do is prepare. Get a tissue paper. And get this mess of a thermal paste off. Most of it's come off. Now it's got an IPA and the rest should just come off. No problem. Just like that. I think as I dissect, if I just take this full thing apart now, the cooler itself, the full thing, it'll make it easier to clean everything out. These are pretty deep in there. Then obviously I go over it with IPA, clear the entire thing out. The case screws. Now this camera is blocking my way, but anything for the video, right? Subscribe to the channel. And the usual stuff. It's for a friend of mine, so gotta make sure this is tip-top condition. Nothing on the other side, right? I don't think there'll be screws behind here. There better not be. And guess what? There is. Cheeky. Am I not catching the screw? I'll deal with that later. Man, these are annoying. These little tabs. Not tabs, but these little stickers, man, they're really annoying. So caught the screw though. There's a screw behind here. I just somehow catch it. Got it. It's a bit offset. of fan screws, put them to one side as well. Here we go. This is pretty dusty, I can't lie. Fan block. Oof, filthy. Where to start? I'll start with the fan block, the fan, the actual shroud itself. Then I might have to vacuum this room, man. This is disgusting. Oops. I got the block as clean as I could. I'll go over it again. Go over the entire exterior block as well with IPA. Get this nice and squeaky clean. This is the heatsink itself, so I guess I should give this a good clean. Okay, this part's pretty bad. This is really dusty, this thing is. Oof, that's concentrated. I'm going to pause the video here and I'll just edit it out, and then I'm going to get this really cleaned up. Okay, I had to change my gloves because that was a lot of dust. Like, I'm talking it was concentrated, man. So I decided to open the windows. Well, I should have opened the windows from the start. So I decided to open the windows and vacuum it out. Vacuum's over there. Get his gloves on. Man, what if I had a proper station for this? Let's get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. Just a bit more parts left. The fan was so brittle that one of the edge pieces, well, the pieces, the contacts that held it down, snapped off. But the other two are fine. Just one of them. I guess if I just screw this in, then it shouldn't be any issue anyways. So the fan tried a good job to get this thing cleaned up. There's quite a lot of dust in there, but I guess I'll just go over it with IPA, and then that should just, get the majority of it gone. Hopefully. Let's get the Sapphire logo cleaned up. These are not fake cards. They're actually legitimate cards. It's just they were only made in China for Chinese consumers. I don't know why, but these cards are just a teeny bit toned down. But I mean, they're cheap. For the GPU, especially if it's its performance, they're kind of cheap. Let's go around the edges, get the inside cleaned up. Ah, much better. Now just gotta go around the edge of here. You can see one of the fans actually snapped off, but that shouldn't be an issue because it'll just keep it in position, right? Because the other two are screwed on. And maybe I would super glue it, but I don't know how super glue holds up with heat, especially around 60-70 degrees. Because if you are playing on heavy loads, I don't know how super glue would hold up to that. So I wouldn't really. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. If it's fine, then it's fine. I'll get some thermal resistant ones or something. Maybe wrap it with Teflon tape. I don't know. Heat resistant Teflon tape. This fan is good condition, I should say. Put that aside. Now for the shroud. There's a shroud. This thing's gonna need a. I did try to go in the edges. There was a lot of high concentration of dust within these edges here. I don't know how I'm gonna get them out. Well, I did do a pretty good job at getting them out. Well, I hope I did a good job. If I didn't, then well, I mean, it wouldn't be that big of an issue because I did clean the majority of it out. We'll portion this tape up. I'll use scissors, bro. Just keep this clean. I did just change my gloves to some new ones because there was so much dust on the old ones that everything I touched it would just spread the dust. So it's easier if you just switch them out. Alright, first thing I'll do is I'll go in the edges with the IPA. Oops. Let's just get this tape off. Doesn't actually mean anything. Screw it. A lot of dust behind it though. It's best I just use tissue for this. It doesn't have to be squeaky clean. I mean, it doesn't. As long as you get most surface level dust off, then you should be fine. It's the exterior that I want to clean up. Interior, just as long as I loosen the dust up, when the fans kick in, it'll just kick them all out. It'll kick out the fan at the back rear end of the card because that's where the blower style card. That's how it that's where this exhaust is. Just the back of the case. Just throws it right at the back of the case, which. I mean, it's the same thing. If you're wondering, that's kind of bad, but it's the same thing your rear fan does anyways. This just does it in a different area. It's lower down, so This is good, looking a lot better. Let's go over the edges with IPA. A bit of scratches on the, the metal piece. 2 scratches here, but I mean, what would you expect? When I get this entire thing cleaned up, I'll just clean this shroud, just a little scrub down, make sure I get everything off. I'll get my friend to get rid of these, the exterior ones. The interior ones doesn't really matter. I'll just get him to get rid of the exterior ones. They just kill the look anyways. No, it doesn't really matter, but I mean, I'm looking much better. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna need to put this on the floor. See, this is where the thermal pads connect to. That's decent. This is being get this thing cleaned up. Look at that, filthy. The rest is IPA. This is all exterior, so I'll just go over that later. Ignore the chat outside. Sorry about that, I have the windows open. Don't be listening to people's conversations. This doesn't have to be perfect, but these contacts, try making them as clean as you can, because they are contacts. Contacts meaning they connect. I'm out. Oh my days, IPA, all of it just dried out. Well, here's IPA. It will dry out. There we go. Looking good. So IPA, I'm gonna have to keep it close by because I may need it. Actually, just throw it there. The rest of it is fine. Yeah, it's fine. I guess put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Touch the fan. I guess that should hold it together. Oh, come on, don't do this. This is really fiddly. This thing's the wrong way around, that's why it's not screwing in. Oops. That should just hold into position. Yeah, screw it down like that. Hold in tight. This thing keeps moving, I'm gonna have to screw it in to stop it from moving. Screw it just a little bit in. Yeah, it doesn't want to screw in. This piece of shit keeps moving. Stay still, man. Whoosh. That should move it all now. No problems at all. Yep. Now, get the initial block back in there. This block back in. Humpty Dumpty back together again. Come on, boy. It's pissy screws. Don't want to play nice. These don't have to be really tight, but as long as they're in, they're in. The biggest problem I think I'm gonna have is the placement of the GPU heatsink block thing itself. It does look a bit small. Can't lie, I was expecting it to be a lot bigger than that. Ignore the background noise. One last time, clean off the block. I have to remove audio at this point. Um, okay, so thermal pads and then thermal paste application. MX2. Don't ask where my MX4 is. Those who know, know. So, let's check out how wide this is. Get off! This is it. Oops, the bubble wrap, forgot about that. Well, my camera died, meaning battery died. There's the cord. I can just show this. It's a sapphire. It's legit in my car. It's not no any fake or anything. I tested it after cleaning up. Applied the thermal paste, thermal pads, did everything, and that's when my battery died. What I was gonna say is that these are pretty dirty cards. They are kind of a bit, you know, not in the best shape, not in the best condition, but if you clean it up properly, like I've got all the stickers off. Like there were stickers on here, there was one there, covering the screws, and then all these screws on top of the screws, there were stickers everywhere, and then there was a sticker there, and I mean, I like red stickers, so they don't make it look nice, but obviously I got rid of all of them, and this is the final card. Some nut, I don't know who did this, but this middle piece here, which protects the display port, this piece here snapped off inside the port. So this is what it looks like normally. It's just like a plastic piece just to cover it. So some nut snapped it and it's stuck in there. So if I try to put a normal one in there, it doesn't fit. It doesn't go in. Can you see that? It doesn't actually fit in there because there's a piece stuck in there. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get that out. I don't even know if my friend's actually gonna use that port. Maybe just HDMI display port and then skip that and go to that one. I don't think it shouldn't do any performance hit or anything like that. It should be perfectly fine. Other than that, the car's perfectly fine. After replacing thermal paste and thermal pads, it idles out about 32 degrees. But on load, after doing firm it went all the way to what, 80, 90? Stable around 70, but that's obviously setting the car to max. It does get quite loud. It's a blower style card. Sapphire is pretty light, to be honest. I'm kind of disappointed at the cooler block because it's literally this big. It's like that big, that wide, and that's it. It's just a piece of metal. It's just a piece of metal with fins on it. It's not big at all. I was expecting to be span the entire card up to here. So obviously it dissipates the heat to the rest of the heatsink, and then the air will come in and blow it out. But it's not as big as I thought it would be. But other than that, the card's perfectly fine. Other than that, it's perfectly fine. It's my cleaning station, by the way. It's supposed to be 3 screws here. I don't know where they've gone. I think he's lost them. They are threaded. I don't know, they didn't come with it. Also, there was a screw over here that's missing. Right here, missing screw. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. Where the fan snapped, where the fan, one of the ports, I should say the plastic piece holding the fan to the shroud, I think it's this one here, it did snap. But the card, it doesn't rattle or make any noise. It's like, it's fine because these 2 screws are holding it. And this is like, where the snapped off piece is, it doesn't even jiggle. It's attached, sort of attached but not properly attached to it. Secured. It's attached but not secured, if I should say. A bit of wear and tear there. There's scratches. You know, they're nothing because the card's gonna be facing this way anyway. So, and I specifically asked for the pulse. Well, I should say the pulse backplate, not the dragon backplate. The dragon backplate is literally, you know, well, a dragon, like a minimal dragon. But I said, you know what, it's kind of dead, so just don't send the dragon one, send the pulse one. And yeah, he honored the request, which I'm happy about. I need to write a review for it. I'm gonna submit these videos as a review as well. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. I mean, I don't know how long it lasts, but after cleaning it, there was no charring, no burns, no pops, just like accumulated dust. That's it really, and thanks for watching.